What if I told you that Jesus revealed exactly what happens in the first moments after you die, and it's nothing like what most people expect? What if the journey from this life to eternity is more shocking, more intense, and more immediate than anything you've ever imagined? In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you what the Bible really says about death, judgment, and eternity. We're going to uncover the terrifying reality of the white throne judgment, the shocking truth about what Jesus experienced in hell, and the mind-blowing details about your eternal destination that will change how you live today. But before we dive in, let me ask you something that might disturb you. Did you know that according to Jesus himself, most people who think they're going to heaven will actually be turned away at the gates? And the reason why will absolutely shock you. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could literally determine where you spend eternity. If you're ready to face the ultimate truth about life, death, and eternity, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're about to explore the most important topic in all of human existence. Let's start with something that will immediately grab your attention. In Luke 16:19-31, Jesus tells the story of the rich man and Lazarus, and it reveals something absolutely terrifying about what happens the moment you die. Listen to this. The time came when the beggar died, and the angels carried him to Abraham's side. The rich man also died and was buried. In Hades, where he was in torment, he looked up and saw Abraham far away with Lazarus by his side. Wait, stop right there. The moment they died, both men were immediately conscious in the afterlife. There's no soul sleep, no waiting period, no second chances. This means that the instant your heart stops beating, you're immediately standing before God, fully aware, fully accountable for every choice you made in life. But here's the part that should terrify you. The rich man was in torment, and he could see Abraham and Lazarus, but there was a great chasm between them that couldn't be crossed. This means that in eternity you'll be able to see what you missed, but it will be too late to change your destination. Now, here's something that might challenge everything you've been taught about salvation. In Matthew 7:21-23, Jesus says something that should make every Christian examine their heart. Not everyone who says to me, "Lord, Lord," will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, "Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles?" Then I will tell them plainly, "I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers." Did you catch that? Jesus said many will be turned away, even people who performed miracles in his name. This means that going to church, saying prayers, even doing ministry work doesn't guarantee your salvation. The question isn't whether you know about Jesus, it's whether Jesus knows you. In Revelation 20:11-15, we get the most terrifying description in all of Scripture, the white throne judgment. Then I saw a great white throne and him who was seated on it. The earth and the heavens fled from his presence, and there was no place for them. And I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne, and books were opened. Another book was opened, which is the book of life. The dead were judged according to what they had done, as recorded in the books. Wait, what? Books were opened, containing everything you've ever done? This means that every secret sin, every hidden thought, every moment when you chose selfishness over love, it's all recorded and will be reviewed at your judgment. But here's the part that will absolutely shock you. It says the dead, great and small, are standing before the throne. This includes kings and peasants, celebrities and nobodies, religious leaders and atheists. No one gets special treatment. No one gets to skip this appointment. Now, here's something that might disturb you about hell. Most people think of hell as just a place of fire and brimstone, but Jesus revealed something much more terrifying. In Mark 9:48, he describes hell as a place where the worms that eat them do not die, and the fire is not quenched. The Greek word Jesus uses for worms is skolex, which refers to maggots that feed on decaying flesh. This suggests that in hell, your body will be in a constant state of decay and regeneration, being consumed by worms that never die, in fire that never goes out. You'll experience the horror of death without ever actually dying. But here's what's even more terrifying. Jesus talked about hell more than anyone else in the Bible. If hell wasn't real, if it wasn't a serious threat, why would the God of love spend so much time warning us about it? If this is opening your eyes to the reality of eternal judgment, drop a comment below and let me know how this is affecting your understanding of eternity. Now, let's talk about something that will blow your mind about what Jesus experienced during his crucifixion. Most people focus on the physical suffering, but the spiritual reality was far more intense. In Matthew 27:46, Jesus cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" This wasn't just emotional distress. This was the moment when Jesus, who had never experienced separation from the Father, took on the full weight of humanity's sin and experienced the spiritual death that we deserved. For the first time in eternity, the Trinity was broken as the Father turned away from the Son. But here's where it gets even more incredible. In 1 Peter 3:18-19 we read, "For Christ also suffered once for sins, the righteous for the unrighteous, to bring you to God. He was put to death in the body but made alive in the spirit. After being made alive, he went and made proclamation to the imprisoned spirits." Wait, what? Jesus went to the imprisoned spirits? This means that during the 3 days between his death and resurrection, Jesus descended into the realm of the dead and made a proclamation to the spirits in prison. Some scholars believe this refers to the fallen angels from Genesis 6, while others think it refers to the righteous dead from the Old Testament. Either way, this means that Jesus' victory over death wasn't just theoretical. He literally invaded the realm of the dead and proclaimed his triumph over Satan, sin, and death itself. Now, here's something that should give you incredible hope about the resurrection. In 1 Corinthians 15:51-52, Paul reveals something mind-blowing about what will happen to believers. Listen, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we will all be changed, in a flash, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, the dead will be raised imperishable, and we will be changed. But here's something that should give you incredible urgency about sharing the gospel. In Romans 1:16, Paul says he's not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. This means that the gospel isn't just good advice. It's literally the power of God to rescue people from eternal judgment. Every person you know who doesn't have a relationship with Jesus is heading toward the white throne judgment. Every day that passes without them hearing the gospel is another day closer to their eternal destiny being sealed. Before we finish, I want to leave you with one final truth that ties everything together. In John 5,